Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rachah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you, I say shalom. This is the brother Yeshaya coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Back with another lesson. This one's going to be entitled Judgment is Needed for Correcting the Earth. Okay, and I want to start off with Ecclesiastes 8 and verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So I want to read this in the NLT real quick. It says, when a crime is not punished quickly, people feel it is safe to do wrong. Okay, and that's exactly how it is, in this westernized American society. The laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai are not upheld. As a matter of fact, they go contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. You know, with the culture, the way Esau has his law set up. It's not meant to correct you on going off from the laws of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, and really, there's a lot of loopholes in Esau's system that people can just get off for free. Get off scot free. They can commit some heinous crime and just get off, right? So the people, the heathen, but primarily Jake, has his mindset of nothing is going to happen. So I can continue committing sin and I'm not going to be punished for it. I'm not going to be held accountable. That's the mindset of these people, right? They feel it is safe to do wrong, right? Until judgment comes, which the Most High, is going to reward everybody according to their doings. So the Most High is not mocked, right? But the point being is that in this society, judgment is needed. And this is what we're starting to see with Jacob's trouble ramping up, with America being on this decline. We're seeing a lot of people starting to lose it, and we're seeing judgment really being prepared for these people, and really is necessary. Like I said, is necessary because we're coming to that transition where righteousness is going to be established on the planet Earth, right? Righteousness is about to be established and is going to come by the way of judgment. Judgment is going to have to be executed in order for righteousness to exist, right? If the Most High turned a blind eye to all the wickedness, then ultimately there wouldn't be no judgment, right? There wouldn't be no justice. But Kahal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that he's bringing down his son to bring that judgment, right? In order for justice to be served, you see? And then everything can operate in a proper balance, you see? So all the wrong has to be made right, you see? And a lot of it, you know, pertaining to Esau has to do with bloodshed. And we understand, if the only way to clean the blood of the or a defiled land from blood is to shed the blood of him that shed the blood, right? So, all in all, judgment is needed, judgment is required, you see. But with that judgment is also going to set things right, and it's also going to bring fear into the nations to do right. Okay. Now I want to get this. I want to get Habakkuk chapter 1 in verse 4. It says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment never goeth forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Right, man. The law is slacked here in America. You know, you can't go out, and I'm talking about some of the like the harder, judgments that I mean, and really it's all justice. When you look at the law, it's all justice, but in this society, it is looked at, it's looked down upon, it's looked at as being too harsh, right? And I'm talking about like adultery. You would stone them to death. Those people that committed adultery, they'll be stoned to death. What's another one? Mose, they'll be stoned to death. A rebellious child, that won't get right will be stoned to death. You know, so a lot of these laws that were in place, they were meant to bring fear unto those. Really, the laws, but also the judgments, were meant to bring fear unto those that witnessed the executions of these people, so that way they'd be like, "Yo, I ain't doing that." It was meant to put fear in your heart to not do any wicked and willful acts. Because the scriptures talk about how the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it, right? And the only way to control that, man, is to, bring some type of order, and that order are the laws, statutes, and commandments. You see, because the Most High didn't give us instinct like He gave the animals. He gave us laws, right? That's why in Genesis, the first chapter, it talks about He made man in His image and in His likeness. That's talking about giving them laws, right? We operate based off laws, man. That's how everything is able to function in harmony, you know. But Esau, he's always, adding here, taking away that, adding this, taking away this, you know what I'm saying? So you're not talking about his law system. So it's a bunch of confusion. But with the law, statutes, and commandments, there is no confusion, right? And this is why the law, statutes, and commandments, when Yahweh Shai returns, when they get implemented, it's going to bring peace on the earth to the point where even the heathen, they're going to be rejoicing at the fact that we're in power, right? Now, I want to get Psalms 119, and I'm going to start out first, verse 126. Bear with me. So it says, "It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law." Right, man. It is time for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to work, man. And that's what we're asking the Lord. Hey, come bring judgment, man. Come bring justice. Come and get rid of all these 2/3. Get rid of all these heathen. Take down Esau. Establish the kingdom, right? Because the law is slack here, man. There's no peace. There's no justice. There's no safety. You know, and even within us, we go off every now and then, even though we try our best not to. But the scriptures talk about, how every man falls short. You know what I'm saying? But us, even we're upset of our own selves for going off, man. So we need the kingdom. We desire the kingdom. We desire perfection. We desire for the law, statutes, and commandments to reign or govern the whole earth, I should say, right? Because only then will we see true peace. Only then will we see, everything being in a flourishing state. With Esau at the helm of power, we see everything is dying, everything is crippling. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of just uh, 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 just wickedness, man. To where everywhere you go, no matter what it is you go on, social media, TV, music, every avenue and aspect of life is all polluted, and folly is upheld here, man. Wickedness is promoted, and all this has to be corrected, man. All this shit has to be put to an end. The scriptures talk about better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And we're seeing the end of this man's system, man, and call like how about Shemi Al Shai, because this is the day we've been looking for, man. Just as the heathen saw the day that they saw the day that Salakia, just like the heathen, when they saw our fall, they were waiting for that day. Well, we're waiting for the day of their fall, right? The scriptures talk about until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Well, that time is almost up, man, right? Because these people are not fit for rulership. Look at the way the earth is run, right? The scriptures talk about when the wicked are in authority. I mean, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. The whole earth is in mourning. Shit, it's hard even just to like if you want to have a kid or something, you got to be like it's just a an extra worry, man. You gotta be worrying about your child, making sure his good is okay. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we got the Lord, but there's traps and snares all over the place, man. The Esau has laid out. You see? But let me continue reading this. Psalms 119 and verse 126. It says, "It is time for thee, Yahweh, to work, for they have made void thy law. Therefore I love thy commandments above gold, yea, above fine gold. Therefore I esteem all thy precepts concerning all things to be right, and I hate every false way." Right, man. That's the mindset of every brother, man. We hate every false way. We hate the way this system is governed. We hate the way just society is, man. Society needs to be corrected. It has to go, man. This place has to go. That's all there is to it. It has destroyed a lot of people, a lot of our people, you know, and it continues to. We see the new generation becoming worse and worse, having no fear of their actions, no accountability for their actions. You see, and it's all based on the government, because government just goes into govern, uh, uh, and mente means mind, right? So govern your mind. You see, control your mind. So the government that's established is just designed to not be held, not hold you, not pretty much not hold you accountable, for what you did wrong, you know. But anyway, let me move forward from that. Let me go to Isaiah 26 and verse 9. It says, "With my soul have I desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness." You see? So when the Most High starts bringing those judgments, right, as we're about to start seeing, best believe people are going to start getting in order, especially Jake. The scriptures talk about in the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing. Once they start seeing, Jace getting fucked up, and then the men of the Lord start getting that spiritual power, and start jacking people up, best believe, Jake is going to start, getting in order, man. You see? But judgment is required, man. That fear has to be instilled in the people to let them know that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the one and true living power, and he's not playing around, right? The law, statutes, and commandments have to be kept. There can't be this, YN culture, this running around and committing adultery, stealing, killing, you know what I'm saying? Talking all this nonsense, speaking proudly. Nah, man, all that shit is coming to an end, man. Wickedness is out, righteousness is in. And the Most High is going to be doing that. All right? And I'm going to close it off with this last precept. Joshua chapter 2. Because this happened in the ancient world, right? Whenever we got out of Egypt, all the nations feared, man. All the nations were afraid. And that's exactly what's coming. The fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to be instilled in the planet Earth. Especially once Yahushua does the work that he's coming to do. Man, best believe fear is going to be, man, these heathen are going to be shaking in their fucking boots, man. Just by mentioning the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, best believe they're going to be, looking paranoid, looking, looking around. They're going to be scared. And that's going to allow them to submit and follow the law, statutes, and commandments, because otherwise it's their ass. You see? But I'm going to get this. This is Joshua 2 and verse 9. It says, this is going into the part where Rahab, heathen woman, took in some Israelite spies that came to spy out the land, right? But this is Joshua 2 and verse 9. It says, "And she said unto the men, I know that the Lord Yahweh hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea for you. And imagine what the Most High is going to do in this time, man. He's coming to destroy America for us. That's a legacy and something we're going to be talking about, in the kingdom, man. And there's going to be a remembrance of this place being destroyed, man. It's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah, right? But it says, when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the two kings of the Amorites that were on the other side of Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom ye utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man. Right. And that courage, really is saying courage, right? Well, it's saying courage, but really it's just these people are going to have no fucking no will to fight, no will to resist Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, you know? And this is exactly what's going to happen whenever America gets destroyed. These other nations' armies are going to be destroyed as well, and they're not going to have no willpower to fight back against the strength of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And best believe righteousness is going to be established. Yes, we're going to be, judging the nations. We're going to be beating them beside the head and this and that. But they're going to be, forced into keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, if they don't, they're going to get jacked up. And that's going to be the way of the world, man. That's the new world order that's coming. But anyway, let me see. It says, I'm going to read this back, verse 11. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt. Neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For Yahweh, your power, he is power in heaven above and in earth beneath. Right? And best believe when that judgment does come, all these nations are going to be saying that too. Right? Because here it is, all these nations got their own gods, their own idols, calling upon Jesus, calling upon Allah, calling upon whoever the fuck. No, man. All that shit is going to be out the window. You're going to have to call upon the names of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai in that day. Especially you 2/3, man. Y'all going to get yourselves together. Y'all going to get right. Well, at the end of the day, Jake's going to be programmed to be, 100% perfect. So there ain't going to be no need for me saying this. But at the end of the day, the earth, and this is an inevitability, you know what I'm saying? The earth is going to be ran in righteousness. It's inevitable, But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rachah HaKodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. And until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom and Kwam Yasha Allah.